Welcome to the National Basketball Arena, where 5th place Pyrobel Killester take on 8th place Belfast Star in what promises to be a tight match. These two teams met in week 4 of the first of the Super Series events, with Killester coming out on top 79-60. Since that date, Killester have shown consistent form in the league, as well as reaching next weekend's Hula Hoops National Cup final. Star have upgraded their American since the last meeting, and in Dylan Stith, they hope to have the answer to Killester's ever-young Jermaine Turner. I'm joined for the game today by UCD's Connor Meaney. Connor, what kind of game can we look forward to today?
Yeah, it should be a tight game. It's going to be interesting to see whether Kesta already have their mindset on next week's cup final, or if they're able to focus in on doing their job today. If they do, they should have enough.
So Killester in orange, as we often see. Pete Madsen back playing for Killester again this year. Takes the first shot but doesn't go in, and McGowan, the point guard for Star, gets it to their American Stith. Currently leading the league in scores at 28 a game, but there is the matchup, Connor, and it will be Turner versus Stith will be the main reason for who decides to win in this game.
Yeah, Stith's an excellent scorer. He leads the league in scoring.
Turner with the first two of the game.
One of the big questions for Star is just whether they can get support scoring around Dylan Stith. So sometimes they struggle to get that third score, with Keelan Carnes and Dylan Stith usually leading the way.
Stith, the Johnson on the wing, closely guarded by Kieran Rowe. Here is one of Star's other big scorers, Keelan Kearns, and as we talked about, he takes a nice fadeaway jumper for Star's first two of the game. Madsen to Turner. Kieran Rowe looks to set things for Killester. Rowe takes a three. Kieran Rowe with a great start, his first three of the game.
Great shot there by Kieran Rowe. He had 27 last weekend. He's usually not the biggest scorer in the league, but he's been having a fantastic January so far, and it's going to be a big factor in next week's cup final if he's going to be able to shoot the ball well. So it's great to see him have a good start here.
So it's Pyrobel Killester leading 5-2. Travel from Liam Pettigrew. Casey reverses the ball to Rowe. Killester just struggling to get into the rhythm a bit, but Turner faced up by Kearns, and Turner makes his first shot of the game, and it's a 7-2 lead to Killester. Wide open under the basket, Connor Johnson, a good assist from Liam Pettigrew.
A bit of miscommunication there on Killester's defense, which is unusual.
Kieran Rowe just loses the handle. Star do a good job, and they'll have a chance to tie or get within one.
Feels like both teams are kind of just feeling each other out at the moment. A little kind of bit of shadow boxing here. It'll be interesting to see who matches up with Dylan Stith here on defense. It looks like it's actually Cian Nihill who is drawing the assignment.
Johnson inside to Stith, but Turner doesn't quite get over in time, and a foul is called. So it'll be Stith that goes to the line for the first two shots of the game.
So that looks like what Killester will try and do. They'll put Cian Nihill, try and deny the ball as much as possible, and then send help from the likes of Jermaine to try and slow down Stith.
Stith with his first two of the game, as I mentioned, averaging just over 28 points a game, the top scorer in the league. Can't make the second, but Keelan Kearns grabs the rebound. He's guarded tightly by Turner. The shot clock ticks to 7. Star will have to make something happen quickly here. Stith again guarded by Nail. Nice move. Long two from Stith, doesn't go, but again, great job of rebounding as Pettigrew has a good start to this game. And it'll be another chance for Star, but again, the shot clock ticks below 5. Kearns doesn't take the shot, gets Turner off his feet. Doesn't make this one, and this time Killester do manage to secure the rebounds. There's a foul on Connor Johnson.
Yeah, good job there by Jermaine, making Keelan put the ball on the floor. It's not something that he wants to do too much, but Brian O'Malley will be concerned that Killester are giving up so many offensive rebounds to start this game.
Madsen drives baseline. Good defense from Johnson, cuts him off. Nihill, another score for Killester they'll be looking for, but McGowan read the backdoor pass to Casey, and he looks to push things for Star, nice move by McGowan, gets all the way to the basket but can't finish. Rebound by Casey, and Killester have a chance to go back the other way. Nihil, he'll take that three. Doesn't find his range on this occasion, but they'd be well advised to keep a close eye on Cian Nihil.
Yeah, that's the sort of shot that Cian's going to hit, and it's one of the things that Brian O'Malley will be delighted that they're playing in the arena this weekend, so that they get used to shooting in the arena before next weekend's final. So it's a slightly different gym than a lot of the gyms that we play in week to week, so it'll be good for Kesta to get their eye in here.
Kearns, top of the key, good hands from Rowe, but eventually it falls into the hands of Turner, who baseball passed it full court to Casey. And Casey with a nice turnaround hook, and fouled by Johnson, so he'll go to the line for one more. As we go to a timeout, it is Pyrobel Killester leading this one on a scoreline of 9-5. So as Alan Casey goes to the line for the bonus free throw. Connor, what will both coaches be talking about there after a fairly conservative start to the game?
Yeah, I'd say Brian O'Malley would be overall pretty happy that they've settled into the game. They want to control their boards a little bit better, and I think Darren O'Neill would like to see a little bit more movement on offense. They're forcing it a little bit, and it's quite stagnant at times.
Good rebound by Turner. Foul is called against this. That'll be his first of the game.
That's exactly what you want if you're Brian O'Malley as well. If you were talking about rebounding in a timeout and your American comes out and gets a great rebound and draws a foul on the opposition's American straight away.
Sullivan recently checked into the game, just shuffled his feet there as he faked the three. And it'll go back to Belfast Star ball.
It's one of those things, Matt, you know yourself, when you come in off the bench, sometimes you just need to catch it and almost reverse the ball, just get a touch on it before you try and do anything, because it's so often you see guys come in and have a turnover pretty quickly.
Casey, Garden Kearns, Connor Johnson. Finds McGowan, calls for the screen from Pettigrew. Uses that screen, but good defense from Killester. The shot clock ticks down to 6. Long shot from Kearns. Doesn't go. Rebound Nihil. Killester have numbers here as they're 5-on-3 on the break. Nihil finds Rowe, who in turn finds Casey. Good movement. Sullivan. Long two. Foot on the line from Kieran Rowe, but Kieran Rowe's had an excellent start to the game from long range.
Yeah, that's a really nice shot. He killed us in the Cup semi-final by hitting a couple of big shots, and he's obviously continued that over the last couple of weeks, which is a good sign for Killester.
Long two from Stith, banked off the board. We'll allow that for now. Whoa, good cross-court pass to Nihil. Back inside to Turner. Turner shows experience against Pettigrew and gets the rebound, puts it back up, and a good score from Turner, who's had a good start to the game, and it's 13-7. Johnson finds Stith, hasn't quite found his range from distance here so far, Stith. Likewise Kearns, but he'll keep going for the whole game of that, you can be sure. And Sullivan looks to pick up the pace a bit. Killester and goes all the way to the basket, finds Rowe, who'll go for his third straight jumper. Casey picks up the miss and puts it in, and everything seems to be going just right for Kesta right now.
It seems to be the thing for Kesta. They're picking up those easy baskets, and Star having to work really hard for every shot that they're getting, and aren't really getting any easy looks.
Stith, long three. Doesn't go. Rebound Turner. But great hands from Pettigrew. Managed to get 2 hands on the ball, and it'll be a jump ball. And on the possession arrow, it will stay with Belfast Star as Owen Kernan and Niall Hegarty look to check in for Casey and Turner.
It's interesting, we haven't seen any changes from Darren O'Neill yet, and Fergal Toner, who's been playing very well over the last month and a bit, isn't here today, so their bench is a little depleted.
Ooh. Foul call there on Pettigrew as he just tried to reach in and grab the rebounds. So far, Dylan Stith having a tough start to the game. Ball not quite dropping for him.
Yeah, Killester's defense is very much focused on slowing him down. We played Star last weekend, and coming into that game, he had averaged about 30 points a game, and it was our main focus as well. Everything was, once he caught the ball, just try and jam the middle of the court as much as possible so that he sees no space at all and make life as difficult as possible for him.
Sullivan, good reversal. Looks to drive this time, but nowhere to go. Good defense from Connor Johnson. Another three from Rowe, doesn't go. Stith with the rebound. He'll look to push, see if he can get himself going. Difficult on the break, nice move from Stith. This time gets inside, and Nihill fouls him, although he claims there was a little bit of elbow movement from Stith, but a nice drive on the break from Dylan Stith, and maybe the free throw line will be the way to get him into this game. So Stith makes both, cuts the lead to 6. It's Pyrobel Killester 15, Belfast Star 9. Hegarty fakes the handoff, long 2, makes no mistake there, and Hegarty comes straight into the game and finds his range.
It's one of the big differences between the top kind of 4 or 5 teams in the league and the kind of bottom couple of teams, is that there's a lot more depth in those top teams, and as you've seen, there's guys coming in for Killester who are able to contribute straight away.
Johnson, open 3. Great 3 from Connor Johnston. And Star were massively in need of a long-range 3 just to open things up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Every shot from the outside that their role players are able to make, it opens up more space for their American, and also gives Keelan a bit more of room.
And now we talk about it. Hegarty off the bench with back-to-back buckets for Killester.
This is always an interesting time. Everyone talks about Jermaine for Killester, but when he goes to the bench, they often have very productive minutes from their guys who come in off the bench, so it's interesting to see what they'll do over the next couple of minutes.
Johnson looking for another 3. Doesn't go. Good rebound from Hegarty. Hegarty eventually finds Rowe on the break. And turnover as Hegarty tried to find Kernan inside, but good defense inside from Cairns.
Yeah, Keelan did a good job there. Owen Kernan's going to be a great player in a couple of years. He probably just needs to put a little bit more muscle on him and be able to fight for that position a little bit stronger.
Cairns moves the ball for Star. Johnson, good defense from Rowe, gives him nowhere to go, and again, as has been the way in this first quarter, the shot clock gets down to single figures as Kearns finds his range from the corner.
Nice shot there by Keelan. The only concern is that everything that he's hitting so far is mid-range contested jump shots, and you've got to be able to get him some easier baskets from time to time.
Good hands from Stith, but falls in the hands of Kieran Rowe. Hegarty, long 2, foot on the line, and Hegarty is 3 for 3. (21-14), Pyrobel Killester lead. 1 minute 15 seconds to go in this first quarter. Inside to Kearns, guarded tightly by Hegarty. But a reach called. Just a little warning there from the referee. As we have a timeout called with 1:09 to go, it's Pyrobel Killester 21, Belfast Star 14. The Belfast Star balls from the end line. They trail by 7, 1:09 to go in this first quarter. This men's Super League game steal by Kesta in the hands of Kernan, gets it to Rowe. Hegarty looking for 4 in a row. This one doesn't go, but great rebound by Kearns, and Kesta will have another go. Sullivan doesn't shoot the long 3, chooses to slow it down. And Madsen has checked back in for Killester. Nice pass inside to Hegarty, but can't quite hold it. And Stith gets the steal into the hands of Mullen, who's checked into the game for Star. Big offensive possession, this one, Connor.
Yeah, they need a score here, and they need to find a way to try and get to the basket, even if it's to draw a foul.
Stith inside. Kiernan guards tightly. Shot clock at 4. This one have to go up. Foul call on Madsen as McGowan drives to the middle. But again, we've seen all quarter long the shot clock's consistently been getting down to 5 and 4 seconds before Star being able to create anything.
Yeah, the one thing that Star probably need a little bit more of is a guard who can penetrate into the middle to try and open things up for his teammates, but it's not really what they have.
Nice backdoor lob, but Stith can't finish that one. Hustles back, but Rowe gets it, and 20 seconds to go. Hegarty, great fake. Hegarty's had a great start to this first quarter. And it's Star that lead with 8 seconds to go. Killester, 23 to 14. McGowan tries to find Mullen. Stith will have to take a long 3 as the time runs out, and he can't make it. So at the end of the first quarter, it's been the impressive Pyrobel Killester that lead Belfast Star on a scoreline of 23 to 14. Starts. Jonathan Gunnell running the point for Killester as Kieran Rowe takes a break. Sullivan. Gunnell with a drive. Good hands from McGowan, but ends up in the hands Turner. Turner will look to penetrate against Kearns. Good defense from Starr. And McGowan with the rebound. Connor, any differences here in the way they've started the second quarter?
Yeah, you can see Starr started out in a zone defense there, which is going to be interesting to see. Killester will be pretty happy that they're seeing a zone at this stage, I'd say, because next weekend they're likely to see a lot of zone from Swords Thunder, so if they can practice against it now.
Turner called with the travel, which he's not so happy about. Just on that last play before that, Jermaine seemed to pull up with a hand injury, but he appears to be okay. We'll keep an eye on him.
Jermaine's constantly in the wars at this stage, so there's generally something affecting him, and yet he still manages to produce, which is amazing.
Johnson. Again, good defense from Killester. No open shots for Belfast Star. Good screen from Stith this time. McGowan gets the basket again, but can't finish again, and that's happened to them a few times. When they have got to the basket, they've missed those little chippies.
Yeah, that's the thing we're saying. They need to get to the basket as much as possible, but that's the third layup now that they've missed, and the second one Paddy's missed, and when you get in there, you got to make sure you finish.
Sullivan, long three. Never quite got the height, and Stith has been good on the fast breaks. The one time he's had the chance, so good defense from Gunnell, but can't stop Stith as he gets all the way to the basket for two.
Yeah, that was a really nice athletic move. It's the sort of thing, you're right, it's in transition where he's at his best so far. So again, that just puts extra pressure on your defense. So you got to be able to get stops so that you can get out and run.
Hegarty continues the onslaught with his 10th point of the game.
Niall's one of those players that some days you won't even notice him playing in the game, and then other days he comes onto the court and once he hits that first shot or two, then all of a sudden his confidence is just sky high, and he'll just keep knocking down tough shots.
Inside to Kearns. Turner. Not going to give him anything easy. 3 on the shot clock. Got to get a shot up. Just beats the clock, but doesn't hit the ring, so it'll be Killester ball. And again, great defense from Pyrobel Killester.
Yeah, great job by Jermaine. He did a good job. He knew what Keelan wanted to do, and he took him out of his comfort zone. But one of the tough things there again for Starr is that Keelan's catching that ball 1 foot inside the three-point line. He's having to do a huge amount of work to even get a shot.
Referee Martin McGettrick just having a nice friendly chat with Keelan Kearns. I don't know, is he much to complain about that last play, but Jermaine always physical as Kearns takes the rest, as does Connor Johnson, and Sean Quinn checks into the game for the first time, and he'll be joined by Pettigrew. So Belfast bringing the changes that they haven't done much in the first quarter. So we're looking for much change here as they go back into their zone.
It's going to be interesting. I'd say what they're going to be hoping is that Sean Quinn's going to be able to knock down some outside shots. He shot well against us last weekend, but it's just this question whether they're going to be able to deal with Jermaine in the middle, and that's what they're hoping for with this zone.
Paddy Sullivan there with his first 2 of the game, and he's guarding Stith, but he's got a lot of help there. A foul is called after some good defense.
Yeah, the whole situation for Starr at the moment has completely changed from the first Super Series when they were here. They had 2 different Americans who neither of them were very productive at the time, and they kind of struggled. But Dylan Stith is an excellent player, but at times you feel that the rest of the Star players are kind of watching him and just standing still, which they need everyone to be involved to even open it up more for him.
Mullen, long 2, doesn't go. Rebound eventually falls in the hands of Casey. Nice pass from Gunnell and Madsen. Can't make the layup, and Stith again is on transition where he's been at his best. Good defense from Sullivan though, but Stith does manage to get his hands on the ball. It'll be a jump ball and it will stay in the hands of Belfast Star.
It was an interesting move there. Stith tried to dribble the ball kind of backwards through his legs, which is something that he did against us about 3 or 4 times. It's a move that no one really makes, but it's something that obviously he likes going to.
Yeah, I saw that myself when they beat us by a point. Good defense from Turner. So 11-point lead for Killester. Will Darren O'Neill be starting to get a little bit concerned?
I think from reading a couple of things during the season, Darren's been concerned for a while with his team just at their offensive production. So they just need to be able to find a way to keep getting regular baskets. It doesn't have to be every offense, but just consistently be able to keep the scoreboard going.
And as we talked about that there, Killester managed to get a 24-second violation, which has been coming for a while, as Rory Milligan checks into the game for Paddy Mullen.
But Kesta are one of those teams that they're going to set up really well defensively every time, and then they're going to just put you under pressure. They're not actually playing amazingly offensively at the moment, but they're doing a great job defensively and just making it difficult for Star.
So Grinnell, under pressure from Stith, gets in hands of Turner. Turner, nice skip pass. Madsen for three. Doesn't go, but Turner gets his hands on the rebound, falls in the hands of Casey, and Casey puts it back in for 2 points for Killester.
Again, one of those easy baskets, exactly the type of basket that Star just haven't been able to get. And the reason that Casey got that was that they were fighting with Jermaine so much underneath the basket to try and stop him getting the rebound that Casey was able to just be all alone.
Mulligan outside to Quinn for three, and exactly what you talked about, making open threes.
Yeah, that's what you want from guys who are going to come in off the bench, especially younger guys. You want them to be able to take the shot when they're open and not force things, and that's I was very impressed with Sean last weekend when we played against them.
29-19, Pyrobel Killester lead, inside to Turner. Turner finds wide open Madsen. Madsen can't make that one, but straight back in the hands of Turner, and he is fouled by a mixture of Milligan and Stith. It's gone on Milligan, so that'll be his first of the game. Sullivan inside to Turner, fumbles it a little bit, good hands from Starr, but Turner eventually finds a little bit of space and is fouled by Quinn, and he'll go to line for 2 shots.
It's one of those things, when you have him surrounded like that, you got to just stand up and make it difficult. He's going to shoot a tough shot. You don't need to reach in because he's so strong. He's going to shoot through that anyway.
Turner, normally excellent from the foul line, misses on that first one. Finds his range in the second, and we're back to an 11-point lead for Pyrobel Killester. And we see a bit of full court pressure from Jonathan Grinnell. Quinn looks at the three, decides not to take it, finds Milligan. Good movement from Starr, but not being able to create a bit of space, but good fadeaway jump shot from McGowan. He gets his first 2 of the game.
Yeah, nice shot there by Paddy. The Star run this motion offense that a lot of teams run, where you try and set a ball screen on one side, reverse it to the other side, send a guy back door to the basket, and then set another ball screen.
Great rebound from Turner, and a missed shot from Casey. Starts around Turner, but that doesn't stop him as he hooks over for 2 more. And Pete Madsen is called for the foul, and it's still an 11-point lead as we had a timeout for Killester as they lead this one 32-21. 4:31 to go. Pyrobel Killester 32, Belfast Star 21. Milligan into the hands of Quinn. He'll take that three. Doesn't go. Turner all of a sudden is starting to dominate the rebounds at both ends.
And on that note, it's interesting that with just over 4 minutes to go, that Darren O'Neill's decided not to bring Keelan Carnes back into the game yet. He's been sitting there for the last 3 or 4 minutes, including there's been a timeout as well. And usually you'd want to have your best players come in, play a couple of minutes knowing that you're about to go into halftime where he's going to be able to rest.
So Star with 21 points in the half so far. Failed to find their scoring touch. Good movement inside. Turner to Kernan, but Kernan can't finish, but he will go to the line for 2 shots. Kernan makes a second as McGowan is pressured full court from Kieran Rose, checked back into the game. And here comes Keelan Kearns below us, so he'll be checking back in as well. Stith guarded tightly by Nihil. Quinn nowhere to go again, shot clock's at 6 and Star still have to create something. Open 3 for Quinn, can't make it, and the rebound for Stith knocked out of his hands by his own player there. As Fintan O'Connor will check into the game for the first time for Star.
I have to say I've been impressed by the job that Cian Nihil has done so far. He's probably not, it's not a matchup you think that it would be a huge advantage for Killester, but he's making life difficult for Dylan Stith and knowing that he has help behind him on defense, so Killester will definitely be happy with that so far.
Nihil. A great pickup for Killester this year. In Dublin with work, leaving his native Moycullen, and Stith this time again on the transition, makes the 2 and is fouled, so he'll go to the line to try and cut it to a single figure game. So as Stith creeps towards double figures in the first half, just about all of those have come in transition. And he cuts the game to 9 points.
Yeah, a bit of deja vu there. It's been exactly the same move 3 times down the court. Every single time is just running down the right-hand side, finishing with his right. So as long as he can keep the scoreboard ticking over, it's going to help Star, but they need to find consistent scores from elsewhere as well.
Turner inside, basing up Kearns. Good move from Turner. Gets it inside to Kiernan. Kiernan can't make it, and that will come out. It's gone to Belfast Star ball. So, despite Killester appearing to have dominated this half, 2:50 to go, Belfast Star still within striking distance.
Yeah, you get a feeling that Killester are a little bit sleepy at times. They're playing solid defense and they know what to do on the defensive end, but they should definitely be a little bit more clinical on the offensive end.
Great hand for MacGyver, but can't quite keep it in as he steps in the line, and it will go back to Belfast Star ball. 9 on the shot clock.
These are the kind of tricky times for teams like Killester in this situation, where they feel they can probably extend the lead whenever they need to, but you don't want to kind of leave that too late, because you can't just turn on and off offense whenever you want.
4 on the shot clock. Stith for 3. Doesn't go. Rebound Turner. Gets in the hands of Rowe, and Killester looking to get something open. MacGyver takes a 3 on the break, and Andrew MacGyver makes his first 3 of the game. And as you talked about there, when Killester did need a score, they came up with one and a turnover from Star, and all of a sudden it's an 11-point game with Killester ball.
Yeah, it just kind of reiterates that point, or re-emphasises that point, that Killester are able to kind of go deep into their bench and find scores, whereas Star aren't able to call on as many people.
Steal from Star. Just a correction there, that last shot from MacGyver was called for a 2, not a 3, so it's only an 11-point lead, not 12. Just put his toenail on the line there, but a good spot from the referees. Stith again, Nihil, close defense. Going straight into all of the Killester help, and a travel is called. The Stith thinks he's getting a foul, but he's not. But again, we saw what you talked about there in the Nihil playing good defense, and then as soon as he managed to beat him, he walked into 3 other Killester defenders. Offensive foul called against Owen Kernan inside.
It's a big 1 minute 40 here before halftime. Star down 11, haven't played good offense at all, but if they're able to kind of get this back to 7 or 8 before halftime, they'll be going into halftime with confidence.
Paddy McGowan, guarded by Kieran Rowe. Pettigrew fakes the shot, but nowhere to go. And Rowe again for Killester will look to make something happen. And foul call, that basket will count. Kieran Rowe with a nice 2, and he'll go to the line for 1 more. So Rowe extends the lead, 37-24. Rebound from Star. McGowan looks to make something happen, but has it been away for the whole of this first half. Wherever Star turned, Killester right in their face. Long 2 from Pettigrew, doesn't go. Turner grabs another rebound and again starts to break to Rowe. Rowe fakes the shot. Good defense this time from, I think, Pettigrew, and Stith will have a chance to break there. Can't find McGowan, but it was kick ball from Nihil, and it will be Belfast Star ball with 53 seconds to go.
Interesting there. This is the first fast break. He was coming down the left-hand side of the court, and he was slightly more hesitant. If you feel if it had been the other side of the court, he probably would have put his head down and been really, really aggressive like he had been previously. So Belfast Star ball, down 13, struggling to score a little bit here in this first half. Could do with a couple of easy baskets. It's times like now, they're 13 down, and we can't forget that they missed 3 pretty open layups as well. That's where it really kind of comes back to haunt you. Cairns fakes the 3. Foul line jump shot, but again, close. Attention paid to by Killester, and Rowe finds Hegarty, who's checked back in after hot start. Hegarty with a nice spin, fouled, and goes. And Niall Hegarty can do no wrong today as he goes for his 12th and 13th point of the game. So all of a sudden, just a minute to go, Star went into single figures, and now it's just gone back up to a 16-point game with 34 seconds to go. Exactly what we kind of said was that it was a huge minute and 38 for Star, but so far Killester have just extended their lead. Paddy McGowan called for a charge. McGeever gets underneath him. That's something we've seen consistently now when Belfast Star do put the ball on the floor and try and penetrate. They're consistently going into 2 and 3 of the Killester defenders. Is that just great defense, or a Star missing something on offense? Well, the reason that it's happening is that Star haven't been able to consistently hit any outside shots, so as a result everyone's able to sag off their man, stay in the middle and just clog everything up. So what you do is you guard the guy with the ball closely and everyone else just helps off. 6 seconds to go. Rowe drives, tries to put it over his head, can't get it. McGowan is fouled, and it will be 2 shots as Killester in team penalty. Yeah, not the greatest play Kieran Rowe's ever made. He thought his big man was there, I think, but it doesn't help also that after it turned the ball over that he had a kind of silly foul where it's now 2 free throws. So Paddy McGowan will walk the length of the floor with 2.2 seconds to go in this first half, with Pyrobel Killester leading 40-24. Chance to cut it to a 14-point game. Unable to do so. So the experienced duo of Darren O'Neill and Danny Fulton will have to work their magic at half time if they're to come back.
So 2.2 to go. Kieran Rowe will get the zone up from the half. He does. Just short from Kieran Rowe. So at the end of the first half of this men's Super League game, it's Pyrobel Killester 40, Belfast Star 25. Join us for the start of the second half in about 10 minutes' time. So here we go, start the second half. It's Pyrobel Killester leading 40-25. Both teams stick with the same starting 5, so it'll be Turner going up against Kearns. Good defense from Kearns, but again, Turner with a nice float over the top of the hands of Kearns. It's Connor. We saw Starr coming out of the locker room as Paddy McGowan goes to the basket. Nice pass from Kearns, and it'll be 2 shots from McGowan. They didn't come out of the locker room until late there, so they spent the full 10 minutes. What kind of things will Darren O'Neill and Danny Fulton have been telling them?
I guess it's just trying to be a little bit more aggressive in getting into the middle, and then when you do draw the defense, be ready to kick it back out. And when the ball is kicked back out, guys have to be ready to shoot the ball. So we saw Connor Johnson and Sean Quinn both hit a 3 in the first half, but the likes of Paddy McGarren has to be ready to shoot it, or at least when the defense is closing out, and be willing to be aggressive and get back into the lane, because that's their big issue. So often you see them, they're just kind of all hanging around the perimeter, moving side to side, but not really going anywhere. And then late shot clock, they're trying to force things. So that'll be a big thing for them offensively anyway.
McGowan opens the scoring for Belfast Star in this second half. They'll be looking for a fast start as they struggle to score offensively in the first half, but it's Killester with the first basket, and they look to go back inside, but it's Nihill open on the top of the key, long 2 over the arms of Stith, but missed, and McGowan will look to push it, but Killester back in numbers, threads the needle there to Johnson, but again we've seen a stifling defense from Killester, and the shot clock again ticks below 10 as Stith looks to go against Rowe, takes a long tough 2, and he makes his first 2 of this second half.
Yeah, nice job there by Sid. Once he puts the ball on the floor and he rises up above the defender, no one in Ireland's able to contest that jump shot. So if he's able to consistently go to it and knock it down, then he has an extra weapon where he doesn't have to get all the way to the basket.
So Killester turned the ball over as Cian Niall stands on the line. .14 game here. McGowan shouts out instructions. Kearns had a quiet first half as well. Into the hands of Stith. Inside Stith, good help from Rowe. Stith can't make that, and it'll be Madsen cleans up the rebound. Good defense from McGowan, tries to sell the foul, doesn't get away with it, but missed 3 from Turner. Kearns puts the ball on the floor, and Turner contests his innocence there as he's called for a blocking foul.
Killester have come out a little bit flat here, which will concern Brian O'Malley. This is the trouble when you go in at halftime up kind of 14, 15 points. Sometimes you kind of feel the game's kind of slightly over.
Johnson can't finish off the nice inbounds play. Madsen, long 2 from the corner, doesn't go. His radar's been a little off today, which is unusual for Pete, really. Normally a very consistent shooter. And a kick ball as Kieran Rowe just closes up his legs in time, stop it getting into the post. We talked about Killester coming out slow, but so far Star been unable to capitalise, missing a few easy, or not so much easy, but open looks.
Yeah, definitely. These are the times where when you do have a team like Killester and you're able to get a couple of stops in a row, you have to be able to score against them, eat into that lead, because you're not going to consistently be able to stop them all games. So they will start scoring again, so you just have to make sure you've made a dent in the lead at that stage.
Stith misses the tough 2 just on the shot clock again, and Johnson dribbles it off his foot, and it will be Pyrobel Killester ball. And we've had a long drought here, 2.5 minutes. I mean, 2 baskets scored between the 2 teams. Johnson just missed the steal. Madsen looking for someone to pass to. Turner obliges, long 3, Turner. And Jermaine Turner had a sighter last time, and this time no mistake, as a 3 from Jermaine Turner.
That's exactly it. Star have been playing good defense for a little while, and now they still have nothing to show for it. They're still 17 down.
Kearns picks himself up just in time, but good defense from Casey. McGowan, nice move, but Kieran Rowe still there, gets to handle the ball, and Nihil with Casey running the lane, and foul on Kearns as he just hits the arm of Casey, and great defense from Kieran Rowe leads to a run out. And a timeout is called by Star as Darren O'Neill wants to talk things over as they trail 45-28. So Al Casey goes to the line. Connor, just for the neutral here, give us a bit of encouragement. Star going to get back into this game?
Yeah, hopefully. They've just made an interesting change. They brought in Fintan O'Connor for Liam Pettigrew. So what they've tried to do is move Dylan Stith back to the 4 position. He's been playing kind of as a 3 with Liam Pettigrew and Keelan Carnes inside. One of the issues with Americans who are kind of in between different positions is that you sometimes are struggling to find a way to surround them properly, and I think Dylan Stith was probably most effective if he plays inside in Ireland, where he's able to kind of just isolate a matchup.
There is O'Connor, steps off the bench and confidently nails his first 3 of the game.
Exactly as Darren O'Neill drew it up in the timeout, I'm sure.
So perhaps that can kickstart the Belfast Star offense. They'll start on defense. Here's Turner, just managed to keep his feet, keeps holding the ball, but good defense from Stan. O'Connor, the difference here is he gets a steal and his foul. So obviously Darren O'Neill knows his players. Great substitution.
Yeah, he's brought in a bit of energy and a bit of enthusiasm here.
And Coach Brian O'Malley will counteract by bringing in the first half's leading scorer, Niall Hegarty, and he'll be hoping for more of the same in this second half. The same lob play again, it's caught Killester. This time Belfast Star do get to go to the line, and Stith will go for 2 shots to try and cut into this lead again, as it currently stands at 16. That's the 3rd foul in the game on Cian Niall, which is a good sign for Belfast Star, as he's been doing a great job on Dylan Stith so far. That maybe slow him down a little bit on defense. So 6:05 to go. We're back to just a 14-point game. Casey can't make it 2. Johnson with a rebound, and McGowan with a bit of renewed confidence here for Belfast Star. They scored a couple in a row. Kearns looks to put the ball on the floor. Good defense from Nihil. And it's gone to Pyrobel Killester out of bounds off Keelan Kearns.
I don't think it was a great call there, but this again another important little stretch here for Star. They've been playing good defense, getting stops. Jermaine's out of the game, so they have to find a way now to keep getting those stops and get a couple of scores.
Niall for 3. His radar's been a little off today, but with the defense he's played, a Stith has him sealed inside, and not a great pass from McGowan, as he had Dylan Stith for a long time with No help under the basket, couldn't find him, and Sean Quinn checks back into the game for what looks like a tired Paddy McGowan, but I'm sure he'll be right back into the game shortly.
Yeah, that's the sort of play that's going to really frustrate Star. Dylan Stitt did a good job. He sealed his man in transition. Connor Johnson didn't see it, and then Paddy McGowan saw it late and tried to force it in, which was a little too late.
So Grinnell, Stith missed the steal. Nice pass from Nihil to Kernan, and Kernan straight off the bench. And that's been a similar thing for Killester the whole time. In this one, someone's come off the bench and scored straight away.
Yeah, very important there for Killester. The other thing that you saw there is Dylan Stitt probably frustrated that he didn't get the ball the previous time, gambled for a steal that he didn't need to go for, and left his own defense exposed then.
Stith, long two, doesn't go. Rebound Madsen. Good defense from Johnson. Unlucky there as it bounced on the line. So as was the way in the first half, good defense from Star, but couldn't score down the other end, and Killester weathered the storm. It's back to 16. As Nihil to Grinnell. Nihil open on the far side, short corner jumper. Nice shot from Kian Nihil.
I feel bad. I think I've jinxed Star twice now, that every time I said it's an important couple of minutes, Killester going to run against them.
Yeah, and just in those important times, Belfast Star struggled to score. A long three from Kearns. Doesn't go. Rebound Grinnell. And he's numbers. He'll find Kernan in the corner. Grinnell looks to penetrate. Good ball movement. Madsen, long two. Can't make it. And Quinn will look to start things off for Star. Referee changed his mind 3 or 4 times there, but eventually probably made the right call, and it'll be Belfast Star ball.
Just for on that note of kind of like these important little spells, basketball's a huge game of momentum at times, and I think it's a sign of a good team who kind of recognise those spells too. And Killester, every time we've mentioned any time that's been critical like that, they've had a very good couple of minutes, so that's what you expect from good teams.
Nice drive from Connor Johnson, and he's fouled and go to the line for 2 shots. So Johnson makes both. Back to that 16-point game, which has been the margin for a little while here, but you always get the feeling Killester is just on top of that. Kiernan inside, guarded by Kearns. Kiernan, long two. Doesn't go. Rebound, Stith. This way he's been at his best. He looked to penetrate, but Niall has to be careful on 4 fouls. Stith gets all the way to the basket. Doesn't go. Rebound by Kiernan. And Grinnell under pressure from Quinn. Shows all his experience. Nihil looks to penetrate inside. He's fouled. Foul call on Stith. Be his second. And Pettigrew will come in and give Dylan Stith a little bit of a breather. Nihil gets the roll. So the league's leading scorer struggling a little bit to find his range, but Killester done an excellent job on defense.
Yeah, Killester have played very good defense so far, and again, I do think that overall there's probably there's 12 teams in the league, and there's probably a split slightly between.
Great defense from Sullivan, and he makes no mistake with the 2.
There's probably a split between the top kind of 6 teams and the bottom 6 teams, and the big difference is those top 6 teams can really focus in on 1 or 2 very strong players and make the other players have to beat you. And that's the thing that Star will struggle against the top teams in the league, where they may not be able to make Dylan as effective.
Inside Kernan, fadeaway jumper, doesn't go. Rebound, Keelan Kearns. Quinn just saves it. Kearns back into the hands of Quinn. Quinn looks at the three, doesn't take it. Drives down the middle, nice pass to a cutting Pettigrew, but good defense from Nihil, gets the block. And John Grinnell to Paddy Sullivan, just steps on the line. But rebound, Hegarty, and Kesta will have another chance to extend this lead. It's quickly shot up to 20, and Stour in danger of being out of sight here as we're still in the third quarter. Kearns, shot clock on 2, we'll have to let it go. Sullivan gets it out in time. In and out, rebound Kearns. O'Connor got away with shuffling his feet a little bit there. Pettigrew, nice finish inside. He just evades John Grinnell.
What I like what I've seen from O'Connor and Quinn over the last couple of minutes is that they're starting to get into the lane, they're putting their heads down, getting in, and then finding their big men. So that's what you want to see more of from Stour.
Hegarty can't find the range he had in the first quarter. Kearns gets into the lane, but good defense from Kernan, can't finish. And Kernan scoops up the rebound off the floor, and Hegarty will look to push it. It's 2 on 2. He goes all the way to the basket, but good defense from O'Connor. And it's saved by Stour. They need a basket here. It's Pettigrew down the lane. Good defense from Kernan, but again, another great finish from Pettigrew. Back-to-back baskets. And coach Brian O'Malley calls for a timeout, as it's Pyrobel Killester leading by that 16-point margin still of 55-39. So back to the game, 50 seconds to go. Killester up 16. Jody O'Neill checked in the game to Killester. Hegarty, free throw line 2. The last one was a sighter, this one he makes no mistake. Inside, Kearns somehow falls in the hands of Mullen, who finds Pettigrew. Pettigrew will have to take a 2. Doesn't go, and 10 seconds to go on the clock. Paddy Sullivan is fouled. Stour not in penalty, so will be sideline ball. 8.5 seconds to go in this third quarter. It's Killester leading 57-39.
If Liam Pettigrew is really going to take his game to the next step over the next year or two, he really needs to develop that kind of mid-range jump shot.
O'Neill finds Sullivan, back to O'Neill. Sullivan fakes the 3, gets in the lane, and good defense again from Paddy Mullen, who's back-to-back stops there for Stour, and 1.2 seconds to go. It's an 18-point game. Stour will be hoping to keep it to that going in the final quarter, but Kernan left wide open inside off the out-of-bounds play, and he gets one to roll. So at the end of the third quarter, it's Pyrobel Killester 59, Belfast Stour 39. 20-point game. This year's cup finalist Pyrobel Killester have been the better team the whole way through, but Belfast Star will consider themselves not out of it yet, but they'll have to find a way to score as McGowan gets the lane and foul, and he started off exactly what they needed, so he'll go to the line for a chance to make a 3-point play. And Connor, Kesta just resting a few of their starting 5, in fact all of their starting 5 at the moment. Is there a slight sniff that Belfast could get back into this?
Yeah, the big question really is, are they going to be able to prove that they can score? And they've shown so far in the game that they're not going to be able to do that. So hopefully a great start there by Paddy McGowan. Hopefully they can hit a couple of shots, get a bit of confidence. As you said, Killester currently have a 5 on the court who were all started the game on the bench.
Also, Dylan Stith on the bench for Star, so balance things up a little bit. As Mullen finds Kearns inside, hasn't had his best game today, but as we've seen plenty of times, he's capable of lighting it up quickly. As McGowan needed that and it didn't drop. And you get the feeling that everything will need to go for Star at the moment, just to put a bit of doubt in Killester's mind. As Hegarty can't hold on to that one, but it'll go out of bounds off Kearns and Killester ball.
Yeah, they need to hit a couple of shots here. Realistically, if they're going to get back into this game, they're going to need to score about 28, 30 points and hope that their defense does an amazing job. So they need to get that start.
Sullivan, long corner 2, makes no mistake.
Again, we're just seeing that depth in Killester though. This is like a complete bench unit, and yet they're looking like a good team out there.
McGowan finds Pettigrew inside. Jody O'Neill call for the foul.
I think that was a terrible call on the referee. I'm only saying that because Jody's my brother-in-law, so I have to have his back a little bit when doing this.
Well, you might remind him that he's one of 3 players in my entire career that have been blocked.
Oh.
McGowan with 3, doesn't go. Good rebound and outlet from Kiernan, and Sullivan. Here is O'Neill, reverses it. Hegarty, he's had the hot hand in most of the game and continues here with a lovely 3 from Niall Hegarty.
Yeah, Niall's been fantastic. This is exactly what Brian O'Malley would want to see. Another weapon that can hit shots, and if Niall can be on this sort of form next weekend, it will give them an extra chance to compete against Thunder.
Kearns looks to try and get something back. Tough shot from the corner, but Keelan Kearns makes a nice 2 and back-to-back scores.
It's a lovely shot by Keelan, but unfortunately it's probably one of the things that makes life a little bit more difficult is that he is capable of hitting those shots, and it kind of takes them away from just having to go to really close to the basket and force them to get easier shots, because he can bail them out with tough shots from time to time.
McGeever for 3, and he's made 2 threes in a row. Good shooting from Andrew McGeever.
It's interesting, when Dylan Stitt went to the bench, I think Killester kind of shut off a little bit. Sometimes when you see the other team's American, you kind of think you have an easy couple of minutes coming up, and Killester slowed down, but now they've kind of got back into it and hit some shots.
Unfortunately for Star, when their hot patch came, so did Killester's, and the lead's extended to 23 as Stith comes in for O'Connor, who looks to have just picked up a little bit of a knock. Connor Johnson checks back in. And Paddy McGowan will take a break. Pettigrew quietly had a nice second half, hedging towards double figures here in the game.
He's a nice player. He's got a very good size for a young guy, and as I said earlier, he kind of needs to now, one of the tricky times for a lot of big guys in this league is when they kind of get to 22, 23, where they probably have to add an extra couple of strings to their bow, where they can't rely on just being bigger than people when they were, which they were able to do when they were underage.
Mullen drives. Kearns into the lane, pull up 2, doesn't go. Dylan Stith with a beautiful put back dunk.
That was really nice by Dylan. He showed a bit of athleticism. He's not the most athletic American that I've seen come over here, but he obviously does still have a bit of bounce to him.
Surprised everyone there. Came out of nowhere. Missed 3. McGeever gets the rebound. But Sullivan can't hold it. Pettigrew with the rebound here, and Connor Johnson. Star, nice matchup here as Jody O'Neill tries to guard Stith, but good help from Hegarty.
Not a great foul there by Niall. There's no reason to reach, and it then kind of adds to the it puts Killester in team fouls, and that's exactly the sort of thing that Brian O'Malley will be driven mad by. It's the sort of mistake that here it's fine at the moment, but again, if he gets put into the game next weekend, he can't afford to make those sort of mistakes.
So Stith with ball in hand, 6 to go. 67-48, favor of Pyrobel Killester. Kearns, another tough shot. Good defense from Casey as someone's gone down the heap. Andrew McGeever looks to be in some real pain down below us. I didn't see what happened there. Connor, did you see what happened?
No, I missed it. I only saw him go down, but judging by his reaction, it looks like it's pretty bad. I think he's actually been injured a couple of times this season, so hopefully it's not the recurrence of something bad that's already affected him, but certainly by his reaction, you'd be very concerned. It also is a general concern for Killester, I guess, going into the cup, that this sort of thing can happen, and it's at the end of these games, which are blowout games, that incidents like that can occur.
Yeah, I see Jermaine Turner down the end of the bench, wrapped in cotton wool. Looking ahead to next week, what have Killester got to do to upset what's a very strong Swords Thunder team this year?
Yeah, they're going to have to play great defense, which they're built to do, which is slowing down Narbonne, the big Spanish guy inside for Thunder, will be a really big task. But then the other thing that they have to do is Thunder will give you open shots from the perimeter, and you just have to be able to knock down enough of them to be able to make them pay for it. And we kind of we set up against Killester in the semi-final, where we were hoping that we could clog the middle like they're doing to start today, but Killester came out and hit 6 of their first 8 threes, and I think hit 10 or 11 threes overall, and that's the sort of shooting performance that they're going to need to have next weekend in order to be able to keep that defense honest by Thunder, because Thunder want to get stops effectively and just run at you and play loose, and have Isaac Westbrooks and Alex Calvexe run the show and score against you.
Drive by Casey, doesn't get it, but makes his own rebound. Bit of a scrappy patch of play there. Back in hands of Casey. Finds Kiernan, nice move Kiernan, but good defense from Milligan. Madsen can't make the 2. And Dylan Stith with 4:40 to go. Just slows things up a little bit for Belfast Star. Good defense from Casey. Mullen, shot clock to 6, they'll have to get it up. No one's looks to start, but good pass inside, and Kearns finds Johnson. Johnson's fouled by Sullivan, and it'll be 2 shots for Connor Johnson.
Just on the cup final again, it's I definitely think that Killester will have the bigger crowd. They'll have the support behind them, and they're probably a more tight-knit group because they've played together for a couple of years. So it'll be interesting to see whether that kind of unity will help them against the team that Thunder really only have about 4 guys who played in last year's final. So it's a pretty new team, and the other interesting aspect for a lot of people will be how Isaac Westbrooks deals with playing against his natural home club. He's very much has been a Killester man for the majority of his life, and the whole Westbrooks family are Killester people, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of affects him, or does it affect him at all.
Foul call on Mulligan. Don't forget, tickets for the January Cup final weekend are available on basketballisland.ie. We're just about to take a time out as it's Killester lead 67-48. So 4:07 to go. Killester 19-point lead. Casey surrounded by two star defenders. Grinnell, shot from the elbow, doesn't go. Kearns gets a rebound and Stiss off on the break. Good defense from Madsen, just slows him down. Inside to Stiss, and again he looks to go on Madsen, but Madsen gets his hands on the ball, but foul called. Bit of contact inside, and Dylan Stiss, it's called end line, so it was an early foul. In fact, it is two shots, Killester and team penalty. So, as I was mentioning before the break, Cup final weekend, tickets available on basketballisland.ie. 8 p.m. tip-off for the men's final, live on TG Car.
It's definitely an event that if you haven't been to before, that you should definitely come up to, and if you have been before, you'll know what it's like. It's one of the rare occasions in Irish sport that it's just, I think it's because the crowd are on top of the game here. It's kind of different than a lot of the bigger like football stadiums or different things. So the atmosphere is just electric, and it's just a unique experience. So people should definitely come along.
Sullivan, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Killester will have to let it go soon. Madsen, before Stetson good up. Sullivan doesn't get it off in time, so a shot clock violation. Yep, the women's finals taking place on the Sunday. Final again, women's final, live on TG Car at 5 p.m. So please do tune in if you can't make it down to the arena. Tickets have been sold out the last 3 years, fairly early, so get on there quickly and book your tickets.
That women's game should be a very interesting game as well now, with Liffey Celtics coming in and playing. They were very impressive in their semi-final win over DCU Mercy, and then Glanmire going for 4 in a row, which is, I think it's unprecedented in the women's game. So yeah, it'll be a very interesting game.
Yeah, in most sports, 4 seems to be the tough one to get to. A lot of teams have won 3, but you very rarely hear people win 4 in a row. It's a nice shot from Niall Hegarty.
That Glanmire team are certainly something special. They've got so many different athletes. I think a lot of those girls can play multiple different sports and be very successful at them. They're just incredibly gifted.
Foul called. So don't forget, still to come today, live on the stream, we've coming up next, as it's 5 fouls. That's gone against Pete Madsen. So still to come is Garvey's Tralee Warriors versus SSE Tristy Moycullen. And then later on at 6 p.m. will be DCU Saints versus Commercial.ie Aina. And again, tomorrow we have a full complement of games starting at 2 p.m. with Swords Thunder versus UL Eagles. So we just have an issue with something.
I think they're trying to figure out, Star tried to pull a fast one there where they tried to change the guy who shoots the free throw. So obviously in basketball, whoever the person is that gets fouled has to shoot the free throws. You can't choose who takes it. It's not like a penalty in soccer. So they tried to get their, I think his name, Connor Milligan off the free throw line. And he missed both, which shows why Star tried to do that.
Tried to steal 2 points here. Jody O'Neill. So it's saying 4 p.m. tomorrow. Cubs versus Demons. Kearns, long three. His range has just been off today for those long range shots. And then finishing off the day tomorrow, 6 p.m. Top of the table clash between Connor's UCD Marion and undefeated in the league, Temple Oak. Good defense from Stith. Hegarty can't find his range. 4 seconds to go. Nihil gets it up. Doesn't go push off there from Hegarty as he rebounded one arm and pushed Keelan Kearns off with the other arm.
Yeah, as you're saying, there's a few interesting games the rest of this Super Series weekend. I think the next game this afternoon will certainly be interesting to see how Tralee do again. They probably should have too much for Moycullen. And then this evening's game actually has huge ramifications in what will be the first kind of relegation battle that we've had in the league for the last couple of years, because we haven't had relegation in the Super League for, I actually don't remember when the last time there was a relegation. So I think it's one team goes automatically down, and then the second last team in the Super League will play the second team in Division 1 for a place in next year's Super League. So at the moment, I think Commercial.ie Aina have 3 wins, and so they're sitting just above UL and Cubs, who beat UL last night. So it's certainly a game against DCU is a game that Commercial.ie Aina will really kind of need to try and win if they're going to give themselves a little bit of a cushion.
Hegarty, long two. Yeah, touched the sore point on last night's game.
Yeah, sorry. Too soon.
McGowan gets the basket and layup, and that's what Star needed from him early on in the game. But again, we're split 16 points. We seem to be at that number on and off throughout this game here. Hegarty, 2 from the corner. Hegarty is going to finish where he started off.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He's been given way too much time and has been able to kind of shoot for fun, which is he's not going to get that time and space next weekend, but hopefully for Killester he'll be able to still knock down shots for them.
So 1 minute to go. Pyrobel Killester leading this one 71-53. And the story of the game, when you see Kesta only ended up, despite resting their guys, I suppose you could say, they've only ended up with 71. So is it really just Star's lack of scoring that have cost them this one? Yeah,
definitely. Star really struggled to score, and it's been the story of their season so far. I think that they haven't been able to consistently score, and when you're not consistently able to score, you're going to struggle to stay in games, because we saw different times where they were able to get a couple of stops in a row against Killester, but unless you're scoring down the far end at the same time, you're really not eating into any lead or building a lead of your own, so you're going to struggle.
So Dylan Stith kept going for the whole game for Star, but good defense from Killester have limited his points. McGowan just dribbles off his foot, shot clock down to 8. Tries to find a gap and does. And he's fouled, he'll go to line for 2 shots.
But overall, I'd say that Brian O'Malley will be pretty happy. The guys probably didn't come out of third gear for a lot of the game. He was able to get all of his players in. Some of the guys stepped up, particularly off the bench, and shot well. So we'll see what's happened to Andy McGeever and how serious an injury that is. But hopefully it's not too bad. I think I saw him hobbling over to the physio there, so if they're able to come through this with a good win and just focus now on next weekend, they'll be very happy.
Kernan inside, nice move. Hegarty just called for travel just before he puts the ball in the basket. So don't forget, tune in next Saturday night. TGK 8 PM, or tickets available on basketballisland.ie as we run down the clock. So Connor, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Not as exciting as a game we had hoped, but just before you leave us, your chances tomorrow against Templeogue?
Yeah, I think it should be a very good game. It should be a high quality game between two good teams, so hopefully it will be a Marion win.
So don't forget, coming up next is Garvey's Tralee Warriors versus SSE Electricity Moycullen. That will be in about 27 minutes. But for this one, it's Pyrobel Killester defeated Belfast Star on a scoreline of 71-56.